What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be going over 5 reasons why I hate the Honda Ridgeline. Now, I do want to preface this video by saying, no, I do not hate the Ridgeline. These are just 5 little annoyances that I found while driving this vehicle over the past 6 years. So let's get right into the video. Item number 1 on my list would be the exterior styling. And I know styling is subjective, but I do think a lot of you guys will agree with me on this. I kind of think that this thing does look like a fish. However, over time, it has definitely grown on me, but I still think it is kind of funky styling, and that's kind of why I do like it, but I know a lot of people do not like it, so that is why it is on my list. You kind of have the avalanche roof design right here that leads into your bed. It's just kind of an interesting design, and the only other thing that we see that looks very similar to this, again, is the avalanche. I apologize, we got a plane taking off right there. We are right next to an airport after all, but exterior styling is definitely item number 1. I think it looks just a little bit funky. However, over time, it has definitely grown on me. Now, moving into reason number 2, and that is the fuel economy or the gas mileage of the Honda Ridgeline. And this pertains, I guess, to the first generation, but I know the second generations are very similar MPG wise. So I average about 18 to 19 miles per gallon. And I do mostly highway driving, and I'm ranging between 65 and 75 miles an hour. And I really only average, like I said, in between 18.1 to 19.1 miles per gallon. That's kind of my range, which for a vehicle of this size, I think it should be getting better fuel economy. And I know even like the 2021 plus Ridgelines only average about 22 miles per gallon on the highway average, which for today's standards, that's pretty bad, because the F-150 EcoBoosts do somewhat similar to that, but they're a lot bigger of a vehicle. I know they are an aluminum body, so that does help them miles per gallon wise, but still 22 miles per gallon in the city for even a G2.5 Ridgeline is unacceptable in my opinion. I think it should be ranging more like 26-ish miles per gallon, but G1, I'm averaging about 18.5 miles per gallon. Now, moving on to item number 3, why I hate the Honda Ridgeline, and this does kind of pertain to the first generation in particular, and that is its susceptibility to rust. Now, here I'm located in Virginia, so we really don't get all that much snow, so that means we don't get that much salt on the roads. However, we still do get a little bit of salt on the road. I do want to show you guys the one rust spot that is on my Ridgeline, and that is on the Honda badge towards the end where the A is. This thing's also fallen off, but you can see I got a little rust spot right there that I definitely need to take care of. But I'm lucky in terms of first generation Ridgeline owners, because a lot of the other first generation Ridgeline owners rust about right here, and then they also rust down here. You can see this one is fairly clean, considering that this is a 2007 and it's not like it is an Arizona or a Texas truck. This has spent its entire life in Virginia. This one also did pass the Honda safety recall, which I believe replaced the gas tank brackets, which I think is on the other side. So I'm gonna move over to there and I'll show you guys that they did replace the gas tank brackets, as well as sprayed some sort of undercoating, which you can see kind of right here. But I'm gonna show you guys down here. You can see they replaced some of the bracketry around the fuel tank, because apparently first generation Ridgeline owners were driving down the street and their fuel tank would fall out the bottom of the truck, which is unacceptable. I'm gonna wait for this plane to go by. Could you imagine driving down the street and your fuel tank falls out the bottom of the truck? I mean, God forbid, that could cause a massive explosion, but other than that, I mean, could you imagine just dragging your fuel tank down the road? And that is why they did the Honda safety recall for the first generation Ridgeline. Now, another thing leading me into item number 4, and that is that this Ridgeline leaks. And this isn't just a first generation Ridgeline problem. This is also a second generation Ridgeline problem. However, the problems show up on different parts of the vehicle. So on this particular Ridgeline, I know that it leaks through this weatherproofing right here, which I'll show you guys here on the interior. I'll open up the door and I'm gonna turn my phone flashlight on so you guys can see a better view of it. But you can see right about here, bear with me, you can see the outline of the water line. And I also have one back here as well. So you can see that is why I believe that it leaks through there. It does not leak through the sunroof. I had my mechanic look through there and everything's clear up here, which leads me to believe that I'm leaking through this weather stripping right here. So I think that's pretty bad. And I know on the second generation Ridgelines, their leaks show up back here on the floor, which means that it's leaking from somewhere either back here or up here on, again, the second generation Ridgeline. So this is where, again, second generation Ridgelines leak up here on the floor, whereas, at least in my case, the first generation Ridgeline leak up top here, right there. You can see the outline of it. So I think that is, again, just an annoyance, because sometimes on a long day when it's just a soaking rain and you get into the Ridgeline, you're about to go to the grocery store, you step in it and it smells musty, it smells disgusting, you're like, ugh. And then also on my steering wheel, when it gets like leaky in here and musty, you can see it eats away at the steering wheel because it gets all humid, and then my hand, the oil on my hand just starts eating away at the top of the steering wheel. So not a fan of that at all. And I think that's just kind of unacceptable, even on a 2007 vehicle. I think we should have ironed out those kinks by that point, and especially on the second generation Ridgeline. Like that's pretty dang bad. And then leading me into my last and final thing that I do not like about the first generation Ridgeline. I'm not sure if the second generation Ridgeline is similar to this, in that the uphill acceleration of the Ridgeline on the highway is pretty dang bad. I mean, you can be cruising down the highway, you're on a flat piece of land, and then you start coming up to just a slight incline, and this thing has to downshift 2 gears. Or if you try to, you know, save gas mileage and, you know, leave it in 5th gear because it's cruising at 60 miles an hour, and you start heading up that hill, you're going to drop about 10 miles an hour really, really quickly. So the uphill acceleration is just not quite what I would want it to be. I'm not sure if it's my Ridgeline lacking a little bit of low-end power or what, but this thing's been pretty meticulously maintained. So I don't think that it is just this Ridgeline. I think it's just a lack of low-end power. I mean, these VTEC engines like to rev out. So yeah, I just don't like revving it out, you know, 3,000 RPM going up a hill, because that really hinders your ability to get good fuel economy. So that is why I do not like the uphill acceleration. I think it should be a little bit better, and I haven't tested one of the new second generation Ridgelines with like the 9-speed transmission. However, I would hope that those would be a little bit better because they have different gear ratios, and I think it would be able to just downshift a couple gears and still, you know, hang out around 2,000 to 2,250 RPM going up a hill. But those are the 5 things that I hate about the Ridgeline. I am going to be doing a video with 5 things that I love about the Ridgeline. Again, I really do like this truck. This truck is fantastic, and I think it's better for, you know, a lot of you guys who are looking at buying an F-150. You're looking at buying a Silverado, but you really don't tow that often. You really don't throw stuff in your bed that often. This is a great alternative to those trucks. Reason being is that they're smaller. So if you're going from the country, you're driving into town, and then you got to find a parking spot, these things are way easier to park than even an F-150, than even a Silverado. I know even those trucks are really not that difficult to park, but this thing is just that much easier to park because it's just a smaller vehicle. And, you know, it's still plenty capable. I believe the payload capacity is like 1,100 or 1,200 pounds, which is insane for this thing being a light duty truck. So this thing is still a fantastic truck. 5,000 pound tow capacity, 1,100-ish pound payload capacity, and it's just got a phenomenal ride on the highway. I mean, after all, this basically is a Honda Odyssey with a truck bed. So it rides pretty much exactly like a Honda Odyssey, and that is why it is such a great vehicle for those of you guys who need a daily driver, those of you guys who tow but you don't tow too much weight, those of you guys who, you know, you're a hairy homeowner, you need a truck but you don't need an F-150, you don't need a Silverado. These things are also less money, obviously, than an F-150 or a Silverado or a Ram 1500. So they are a great alternative to those trucks. But again, I do not hate this vehicle, and I am going to be having a video coming up with 5 things that I love about the Honda Ridgeline. Also, if you guys are still sticking around to this part of the video, I did do a Honda Ridgeline max tow capacity test, which I'll link right up top here, and I was pulling 5,000 pounds on a 2-hour road trip. Go watch that video. You guys can see how the Ridgeline performed. But I do want also to talk about, you know, some YouTube channel stuff, like channel update kind of stuff. And, you know, the channel isn't growing quite as fast as I would like it to. Obviously, I'm very grateful to each and every one of you guys who have subscribed to this channel, who have given these videos thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. It really does mean a lot, and I love to see positive comments. Watching the hate comments too is pretty funny, I gotta admit. It doesn't really offend me all that much. I don't really care. I just brush it off. But, you know, like I said, the channel really isn't growing as fast as I would like it to. And this is, you know, I put a lot of time into the channel, so it does kind of stink to see it grow not as fast as I would like it to. But again, thank you to each and every one of you 5,400 and some subscribers. I greatly appreciate, again, each and every one of you guys. And we're just starting this channel. I'm not going to give up, until we hit 1 million subscribers. And even at 1 million subscribers, obviously, I'm not going to give up. But we're going to keep pushing. We're going to see where this channel takes us. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Again, thank you to each and every one of you subscribers. I greatly appreciate, again, each and every one of you guys. I greatly appreciate the thumbs ups and all the positive comments and feedback. So greatly appreciate that. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. I don't know if I'm going to make it happen. I still need another 4,500 to go. So I don't know if we're going to make it happen, but it'd be really, really cool if we did. So if you guys would give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.